Hello guys, Travis here with Crawlerworks RC. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to show you a truck that we call Bones. The reason we call this truck Bones is that we found him this year at Beat the Creek in a box of free stuff out on Vendor Row. I wish I could remember what booth it was that he was in front of, but nonetheless, that's where we found him. There was a box out in front of the booth marked free, and in that box was this body and two carbon fiber frame rails. There was nothing else there, nothing else on the truck that was there. So when we got back home, I decided to see if I could build a truck out of parts that I already had on hand. So let's get the top off this thing, let's take the body off, and let's see what we got. Alright guys, so here we have maybe an up-close shot, maybe you can see a little better. So this is the body here that we got out of the box at Beat the Creek 2024. I'm going to say at some point in its life it's been to Crawler Canyon. It says I survived Crawler Canyon there. And then on the front of it, it says Crawler Canyon. If anybody that sees this happens to know anything about this body, jump down in the comments, let me know. I'd love to know where it come from and maybe some history on it. So let's get the body off this thing and let's show you what we got. Alright, so there's the body. I did have to modify it just a little bit to make it work for this application. Like I cut these holes here. It had quite a few different mounting holes. It had those here, and so I covered those up with some stickers. All the other stickers were already on here. That's the only ones I added were these. The back was cut sort of, let me get this where you can see it. The back was cut really funny. So I trimmed it up and actually 3D printed a spoiler to go on it. I think I'm going to redo the spoiler. I think it needs to come out maybe to here on each side. So we'll get around to that maybe. So here's the truck itself. So here's the rails that were there. These carbon fiber rails. Let me see if I can get you in a little closer here. Maybe you can see those a little better. So here's the carbon fiber rails that were on it. They've been cut back here at the back. I did not do that. They've also been cut here at the front. If you'll look here, I also did not do that. They were that way when I got them. I have modified nothing on these rails whatsoever. They're exactly how I got them. The only thing I have done is 3D printed stuff to go on it to make it work for my needs. I 3D printed the rock sliders, as you can see here on both sides. Battery tray here. I'll give you a shot of those up from the side so you can see those. So we have those there. They're shaped to the chassis, 3D printed. I also 3D printed the transmission skid. Looks like I've lost a bolt. These axles were just some axles that I had laying around. There's some old Amazon specials that was on a truck that we built a while back. And as you can see here, I'll show you, they are absolutely wore out. They're both that way. Both front ones are that way. The backs are not quite as bad, but still pretty bad. Drive shafts don't match. We have this one back here. Do not know where it come from. Or this one, I'm sure it was in something I traded for. It was in a box, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you're starting to realize why we call him Bones. It does have a Castle Sidewinder 4. There again, something that I got in a box on trade. I'm running a Dumbo RC. That's in this little electronics box that I printed here. And then it's just running an XT60. I 3D printed a little bracket to have it there. And all this just Velcros down. The transmission is a Stealth X. I got two of those on trade, and in that transmission, it already had this forward motor mount system on it with this Surpass Hobbies little cheap outrunner. Let's see, I think it's the Surpass Crawler 3532-2050 kV. I also 3D printed the body mounts. I had to come up with some way to use the holes that were already back here in this body. They were here. So this is what I come up with. I 3D printed it and also was able to use it to get my shocks forward a little bit Trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, I'm running just the Endura Blue 35 kg servo. If you ever run one of those, I don't even know that you would call them sufficient. They're pretty strong, but they're pretty slow. Anything else here that I see? Also, on the bumper mount, we 3D printed a piece to put the bumper on the front of it. This is just a bumper that was been cut up and off something. So, without any further ado, let's get this thing out on some rocks and let's see how it does. Alright guys, here we are, going up at Rainbow Mountain. Alright guys, we're here. We're going to carry the little Volkswagen out, the one that we got out of the scrap bin at 50 Creek 2024. We're going to carry it on the rocks and see what it can do. Let's go. say, guys, this truck has impressed me. I did not expect it to do quite as well as it's done out on the rocks. For what's here, it probably shouldn't do as well as it's done out on the rocks, but anyway, it is what it is. I'll meet you back at the beach and we'll wrap this video up. Alright guys, we're back here at the house, back in the hobby room. I don't know about y'all, but it surprised me. It did a lot better than I thought it would do. Probably a lot better than it should have done. But I'm impressed. I'm going to take it out. I want to spend a few more hours playing with it on the trail and just get to know it a little bit. And then I think maybe we'll start throwing some upgrades at it and just see what it'll do, see how far we can take it. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe and like this video, and we'll be back for more. Thank you.